I was good. I worry about my earphones. I can hear you.
Devon, you're good.
I see
you're
you.
Good. You're good.
But I don't
Okay.
hear you. I see Ryan chewing. Now I see we're live on YouTube. I wonder why I
Sevan,
can't be heard.
Aren't you like in charge of media at CrossFit or something? Sevan, can you hear me?
He's not. One sec. I'm gonna.
Microphone,
Okay,
Rodecaster Pro.
Here.
Hey, Ryan.
Can you hear me now, Sevan?
Hold on, I can't hear you on my phone either.
Yeah, you hung up on me.
Oh, here we go. Accept.
All right, Sevan. So just go here. Go to the microphone. You'll hit this little arrow button.
Yes, sir.
Right there, and then make sure your microphone is on the one you're using, and then speaker. Make sure it's on the right speaker. It might not. That's why you might not be able to hear us.
It is. It's on a Rodecaster Pro for both of them.
Yeah. So switch that Rodecaster to your just regular thing.
So I can't use this microphone?
You can, but for the speaker, select the speaker. Your speaker is what you hear.
Okay. So for the microphone, so you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. And for the speaker, put Mac. How about now?
I can
I
you hear me?
you. I can hear everything.
No. God damn it.
Sorry, Devon.
Maybe
I'm
I'm
good.
muted.
I can hear everything. I'm good. I can hear everybody.
Maybe you'll have to do the interview, Ryan. God damn it. Oh, now I hear you guys.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Was your cord unplugged or something?
This dial was all the way down when I think it should have been all the way up.
Oh, it's always something like that.
It
Are
is.
we live?
We are.
Hey,
Yeah,
come
we
on. Are you not like in charge of media at CrossFit?
No, I was fired over a year ago.
Oh, damn. You know what?
Let's talk
Why
about
was
it.
that?
Let's talk
Yeah,
about
what's up,
it.
man? Jeez, like this technology thing, I I was on here. I was ready to go. Simplicity, Sevan. Simplicity.
Simplicity. I know. But you're looking good. You've really reduced your life to just big events and.
Sevan,
Yes.
check this out, man. Check this out. I'm gonna give you a 360 of my room.
Okay. That's your life. That's not just your room. That's your life. That's where they hold Canadian heroes. Canadian heroes get preferential treatment while the rest of the country's in lockdown.
I'm at Tristar gym in Montreal. This whole thing happened so quick, like total whirlwind. I went like Monday morning. I woke up at like 5 a.m. to take a piss or something.
Uh-huh.
And, there was a potential, like I was like one of three people, and Don Idris was like, you got the gig. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
Is that the
incredible.
promoter?
Yeah. He's great. Do you know him?
No, Don Idris.
Yeah. You'd love him. You should get in touch with him. He's a very funny guy. So he's Core Sports. So there's a couple of them. Mark, Boyd, and Don are like the guys that I know. It's a big team, but yeah. So Monday I got confirmed. By Tuesday afternoon, I was in Montreal getting instruction from Faris Zahabi. Yeah.
Faris Zahabi.
Faris. I always stutter over his name. Faris Zahabi. Yeah. So I'm just working. I'm working. I already did my morning workout. I'm eating, sleeping, boxing until the 18th of September, when I fight the mountain. So pretty pumped, man. Pretty pumped.
Guys, so there's a guy who's very well known in the CrossFit community because he took a lot of, well, obviously he's from Game of Thrones, but he took a ton of pictures with CrossFitters in Iceland. He's from Iceland. His name is Thor. I know most everyone on the planet by now at least has seen him in some movie, and people who work out know him from Instagram. And he was got on a fight card. Also on that fight card was our beloved Jacob Hepner and Josh Bridges. So that really pulled in a lot of the CrossFit community. And Thor was supposed to fight a guy named Eddie Hall, who I'd never heard of before, but I guess that they have some sort of beef, and they're both big in their disciplines, which is like lifting up really heavy shit, right? Was Thor a strongman, like the strongman champion guy? What?
Oh my God. These guys are like the two best they're like the two best strongmen in like history. So Eddie Hall, you must know Eddie Hall is the guy he's the first guy to lift a ton, like 500 kilos. Or I don't know, it was some stupid weight. You know that lift, it's like probably it's probably the most famous lift in the world ever done. He does the deadlift and he's like bleeding out of his nose and everything. You don't know this deadlift? Well, it's a couple guys who have bled out their nose.
After Pujanowski, I sort of kind of like left the strongman scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like it used to be the only thing on like on Saturday mornings on ESPN. So then I just kind of left it. But then Thor obviously popped up on the scene because of Game of Thrones. And of course I know who you are because I've loved arm wrestling for I don't know, 15, 20 years now.
So these guys, Eddie and Thor had legit beef because I guess one year, and I don't know all the details, but Eddie won it, but Thor was pissed about it. And I guess it got pretty personal and they decided that they hated each other and wanted to fight. So they created this boxing idea and it's been building. As soon as I heard about it, I thought it was so awesome. I've been so excited about watching them fight. And I've been following the training, and I saw Thor when I arm wrestled Michael Todd in Dubai. Thor was there, and I was like, "Oh my God, the transformation he's done was incredible." Anyways, I was so excited about the fight. Then when Eddie blew his bicep when he was training, just like a couple weeks ago, and right away, like I was kind of joking around, but like, I would do it. I told the promoter, I'm like, hey, if you need a backup, I'm sure you got a million people, but I would absolutely jump in and fight Thor to keep the show going. And what do you know? Here I am.
So for those of you who don't know, and I apologize if I'm not supposed to say this, but Devon Larratt was on the Pro-Am boxing team at JTF2.
It's not. Who told you that? Pro-Am boxing team.
And Thor's in big trouble. I know Thor is in fucking big trouble. And if those of you who don't know about the Pro-Am boxing team at JTF2, you're gonna have to Google around and find it. But it's not a joke, man.
It doesn't sound like a joke. Yeah, man. I've been boxing the mirror.
A mutual friend of ours, a mutual acquaintance of ours, someone we both respect, gave me that bit of information this morning. I told them I was going on with you, and they said, "Hey, make sure you let that cat out of the bag."
Who's that?
They said he's definitely not going to want to talk about it.
Who's our mutual friend?
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
Yeah. Devon has been from the little bit I do know about him is in probably man, I don't know how you could probably describe it better than me in regards to arm wrestling, but arm wrestling is if anyone wants to say it's an endurance sport, how would you explain arm wrestling? It is definitely not boxing. I mean, I don't want to say that there's no endurance because we've all seen those matches that are just insanely long, and then if you have a 6 series,
there's very little crossover, I would say. Very little. I mean, the only thing that there's a crossover from arm wrestling to boxing is, all the elements that you need to be an athlete, like the discipline, the focus, the study, the practice. But what makes a guy a great arm wrestler and a great boxer, from what I know now about boxing, I mean, it's all legs and footwork and lungs and hitting and looseness. Arm wrestling's all tightness and strength and hand, and not a lot of crossover. But how could I say no to an opportunity? Man, I get to fight the mountain. How many people get to fight the mountain? I'm having dreams about giants. So, yeah. Last night I woke up at 3 a.m. in a sweat. I was legit fighting giants in my dreams. So,
the thing, there are some stories about you as a young man that are like some crazy endurance stories, some crazy runs you've done, just some crazy things you've done endurance wise. And then not here you are 40, how old are you? 47? 46. Here you are 46 years old and you've gone the exact opposite way. It's basically you have one arm or two arms that are basically all your energy and attention have gone into. And then now you're going to have to re-tap into that. I mean, are you concerned about your endurance?
Yeah, for sure I am. But
I mean, he should be concerned too, by the way. I don't know how good his endurance could be.
I think,
but he's been training a lot longer, right?
Yeah, he's about a year and a half into the process. And his transformation has been really incredible. But I'll say that, so like when I look at my athletic career, it's basically when I got out of the military in like 2016, 17, I totally went like the way of the giant pumpkin, right? And all my energy just in my right hand, and like no cardio, no nothing other than arm wrestling. But I mean, my route, like when I was a kid, I did judo. I played lots of ball. I had ambitions to go to the Olympics for judo. When I was in the military, I did a ton of fighting, but it was all like groundwork and like, mixed kind of stuff. Never competed. I did win a military Ironman. I did a ton of cardio. Like, I mean, just the profession requires a lot of cardio, but I totally, when I say totally walked away from it, like when I competed a couple months ago, I was as heavy as like 290 and like fat body, no cardio at all. But I already feel it coming back. And the thing with cardio, I feel like it's the easiest thing to bring back. So every day, I mean, since Monday, it's every day I've felt better and better and better. So I don't know how quick I can get it back, but I was good, Sevan. I was a cardio machine once upon a time.
Yeah. I mean, I remember hearing stories of you just not being afraid of just being somewhere that was 30 miles away from your house and just being like, okay, guys, I'm leaving. And then you just run home.
That's true. I used to run home from parties and stuff when I was a teenager. And yeah, like, I mean, I'd run 30 kilometers or whatever. Like I would run a lot of distance.
What was the lightest when you retired from JTF2, how much did you weigh?
Like a normal weight for me, like a healthy normal weight is about 240, 245. That's
really, you
great.
were that big?
I've been like 235, 240, basically my entire life. Okay. I would cut. So like there was often a 100 kilo class or a 225 pound class that was offered in arm wrestling, which was really great for me just to duck down into. I could just live at 240, 245, just down to 220 or 225. Easy day. And then when I got really serious, I could like be heavier. I could be like 250. And the last, like since I've gotten out of the military, oh my God, like I'm huge. I'm freaking massive, Sevan.
How tall are you? How tall are you? Are you 6'5"?
Yeah.
There's footage of you arm wrestling this guy and you have this look on your face like you're afraid you're going to break something. Like when you're like, I don't know if you do gardening, but like I'll be bending a grapevine, like trying to twist it and train it through like an arbor or something. And I'm like, I really shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to snap off the branch. Like I'm putting too much tension on it. when you're arm wrestling both right and left-handed, and for a lot of people who don't know this, who don't follow arm wrestling, you tell them even in the middle of the match, hey, look at your hand. And I don't know, like the way you say it to him, I wonder if he's like thinking like you're being a dick, like, hey, watch your hand, I'm going to beat you. But I know what you're saying to him. You're saying like, hey, dude, if you turn away from your hand, something bad can happen. Can you walk me through that match you had with him? Just sort of that. And by the way, this wasn't a real competition, guys. They just walked up to a table together and they were arm wrestling.
So actually that took place actually really close to my house. There was a guy who lives just down the road from me. Unfortunately, he's just passed away. Wally Thor Bjornsson. And
where is this? And where do you live? What state do you live in?
So I'm in Ottawa, Canada, just outside Ottawa. And he was just down the road. Oh, where was it? I think it might have been Carleton Place. So that's just outside of Ottawa. And this guy, Wally, used to have like a yearly strength show. He was from Iceland and he had a construction company and he was able to put together this yearly event. And he would always bring, because he was Icelandic and he was part of the strongman community, had all the ties to the best guys. And he was able to bring Thor over. And I was there because it's like strength of all sorts. They had the CrossFitters, they had the strongmen, they had the powerlifters, they had arm wrestlers, they had fighters. And I was doing a little kind of exhibition kids tournament, and Thor was there. And that was my first day meeting Thor. And I'm a big fan. I went over, introduced myself. We talked about it. We talked about stuff. I'm like, hey man, when your hips or back or whatever goes, which I don't know what goes when you're a strongman, I'm assuming it's one of those pieces. I'm like, you should come over to arm wrestling. I said, you'd be a killer. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, come on over to the table anytime, all throughout the day. We're here all day, and I'll kind of just work with you a little bit, and just we'll have fun. And the video that got released, we did that all day long. He came over many times, and we did little sets here and there. I think that might have been the first time he came over. And he was great, like great athlete, good learner. But yeah, I was just trying to keep him safe and work him. And anyways, that video ended up kind of going viral, and it was great for arm wrestling and shed a lot of light on the arm wrestling community. Because, at that point, even a few years ago, a lot of people were still of the perception that how could a guy like as big and strong as the mountain lose to anybody smaller than him, right? And obviously we know that, like any sport, if you spend time mastering it, well, it's really hard for a beginner, no matter how big and strong they are, to do well. That's why me coming into the boxing world in 5 weeks, I'm going to break all those perceptions, Sevan. I'm going to break all those stereotypes, and it'll be like, oh.
When I started telling people I was going to have you on the show, they were basically asking me if you're okay. Like, has he lost his mind? Like, what's he doing? Has he just completely lost his mind?
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty bored, Sevan.
Were you concerned when you were arm wrestling him that you were not that you were gonna snap his arm, but that he was gonna snap his own arm?
I always worry about that.
Okay, because that was the look on your face.
Yeah, especially with guys like that. Like when you get a specialized athlete, like a guy who's really gone far down the specialization road, and they're strong. These are the people that I worry about almost more than anyone, because they've just put so much into a certain pathway that a lot of times they're not conditioned generally. Like if a guy comes up and he's like a worker or some kind of sports athlete, or I don't know, I don't worry so much. But when a guy like a bodybuilder or someone, and they've gone far, I always worry. And a guy like Hafthor at that time, he was really big. He was really strong. He's just not strong in those grooves in the calcium, the way the calcium lays down your bones. It's not in the right places to take the kind of torque that his body's capable of producing. So yeah, you got to be careful. Have you spoke to him since you accepted the fight? Yeah, I did. I said, hey, buddy, we should talk. And he's like, yeah. So we spoke briefly. I was like, hey, man, I'm like, I'm really excited about all this. He's like, yeah, me too. Just a little bit of back and forth. I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to give it 100%. And I'll see you in Dubai. It was a brief conversation, but
Phone call?
yeah, it was a quick phone call. Like, here's the thing. I'm not Eddie Hall. Like, I don't hate Thor. But I will do my very best, in this fight. Yeah. I hope he doesn't hate me the way he hates Eddie.
I bet you he's really thankful. I'm guessing that it wasn't easy finding someone to get in the ring with him. I'm guessing.
I would have imagined there would have been 1,000 people.
Really?
I would have thought so. Yeah, that's why I was so shocked. I thought I would have been one of like 1 million people. Yeah. Hey, would you fight him, Sevan? Would you fight him?
Yes, of course.
Of course you would.
Of course I would. Of course I would.
Yeah, well, my mom freaked out. My mom was so mad at me. And then my uncle, he's like, Devon, you're so stupid. I'm like, come on, Tom. I'm like, don't you see how much fun this can be? He's like, he's gonna kill you. And I'm like, he's not gonna kill me. He's not gonna kill me. If I get hit, I can fall down. I'm like, he's like, no, you can't. He's gonna kill you. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm super excited. Sevan.
If someone said that if you have dreams or you have goals and people don't laugh at your goals aren't big enough. And I was interviewing this CrossFitter, and I think his name was Zach Watts, and he put in his Instagram profile, he said future CrossFit Games champion. And I think he said like some of his friends and family were making fun of him for that. So he took it out. And I was really fucking annoyed by that. Like, fuck you. Like, really? Like, what? Like I just want, and if it's not Zach Watts, I apologize, but I wanted Zach Watts to be like, fuck you. You're not my friend anymore then. You know what I mean? Like, and so like, I really get, that's why you're the best at what you do, because you have to have an absurd belief in yourself, right? It's the same reason why you're afraid he's going to snap his own arm off when you're arm wrestling him, because like, what if that belief in himself as the strongest man in the world transfers to arm wrestling, and next thing you know, you're holding the guy who's accidentally broken his own arm off because he's so focused. And so like you know, I mean, as much as obviously your mom, like no one, if you have a good mom, they don't want you to get in the ring with half Thor. I mean, that's just part of being a good mom. But shit, like that means you've chosen the right thing. I mean, I know you've had that your whole life, someone like you, that you've obviously tackled a lot of big fish, and there's always, you're surrounded by doubters. So that's part of that game, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's something that draws me to this kind of thing. There's something really, really appealing about something that makes you doubt yourself. I really like that. I mean, I've been down the arm wrestling road for a very long time. I think I have very good understanding of what I am capable of and what I'm not capable of. There are things in the arm wrestling world that'll absolutely give me the heebie-jeebies. Like, taking on Levon, for example, or Vitali, or anybody in the top 5 or 10 in the arm wrestling world is going to fire me up. But stepping into the boxing world to fight Thor, oh my, that's appealing. That this is something that, and I'm loving the process. I feel like I've very quickly gotten myself into such a good place, and I'm absorbing, I'm learning. I've totally changed my life around. Like, I am not an arm wrestler right now. I am a 100% student of the sport of boxing, and I've immersed myself as deeply as I can into the process. We'll see how far I can get.
Devon, I'm reading this book, Balance, and I've talked about it in the podcast a ton, and I highly recommend you get it and listen to it while you're in your camp right now. But basically, it's saying no matter who you are, if you're the best in the world at something and you're still not failing every day, then you are not getting better. So like in practice, you know, Serena Williams needs to be failing every single day. Like if you're not pushing the margins of your skill level, then you're not fucking growing. And I get that. Someone like you want to do that. You know, there was that
failure now. Like, here's the thing for me now in the sport of arm wrestling, my failure is so measured and understood. Like the sport is the size and my level of experience now, everything is so calculated. There are very little surprises left for me. There now for me, it's about proper execution. Like I basically, I mean, I don't want to sound arrogant because there's always more to learn, but for me, I think to grow as a person and to grow as an ambassador of arm wrestling, I need to step outside. I need to leave my comfort zone of arm wrestling, go outside. How does arm wrestling relate? Where is the crossover? Where are the similarities? Can I bring those back?
Dude, Dancing with the Stars would have been a great intermediate step before you fought Half Thor. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
It would have been.
That would have been.
It would have been
Yep.
so much better if you would have done like a season of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And then
it's all footwork, right? It's all footwork.
Are you watching a lot of boxing?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I've been given my homework assignment. What is his name? Willie Pep. That's the dude. I think Willie Pep. That I was told, you know, a couple guys I should watch, but I'm trying to absorb a lot of stuff. But yes, now when I load up YouTube, already YouTube knows what I'm looking for, and it's all boxing stuff. So yeah, I'm watching boxing videos, I'm watching highlights, but it's funny, like boxing is so fast. Like I have to slow it down. Like I have to slow that stuff down, and like
Something happened. I know, right? Nick of Time just wrote in the comments, Jesus, those arms. I know, they're crazy. You should go to his Instagram account. You should go to his Instagram account and look at some of the pictures.
I cannot hear you.
I can hear him. I've gone and done some filming with Devon up in Canada and taken pictures, and he photographs incredibly well. He's the Josh Bridges of the arm wrestling world. Did we lose Devon?
I had to take my earplugs off. My earplugs are like 50-50, I think. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
He's straight now. You got a carrot. He's like a magician. He took off his ear. He turned his earphones into a carrot. You can eat that. This show is friendly on all levels. Wow. That is awesome.
I've even changed my diet, Sevan. I was like just a pure bulk monster. And now I'm eating healthy, plant-based, carbohydrates, no animal for the next 5 weeks. I mean, I don't want to say no animal, but very, very limited.
Whose idea was that?
That's for us.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I've gone through periods where I've only eaten meat. I've tried all the diets. Okay. I've done them all. I've done, you name it, I've done it. And I have done like plant-based, vegetarian, raw food diets before. And I have noticed that my energy is good. And that's really my only concern right now is how much energy I can burn and process and the smoothness of it. I can't be getting stitches. I need to have a very clean burning energy. So
stitches. I forgot about those. Damn, I haven't been working out hard enough. I remember getting those in high school all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got it the first day. I was all stitched up day one. And right away I changed my diet. I mean, today I was good. I got another one in a bit, but yeah, I'm plant-based right now.
How is that guy for Faris? I mean, he's a legend. He's a
He's
legend.
brilliant. Dude is
And he's
brilliant.
so young.
Yeah.
And he's so, how old is he?
I think he's 40.
Fuck, he looks like he's 25.
Yeah, he does. He looks really young. But I think I could be wrong. I think he's 40, 41.
Does he have kids?
I think he does, yeah.
Have your kids
don't know.
visited you?
Yeah, one of them did already. One of my kids is doing a movie in Montreal, so he was just here. Yeah, he's doing Pet Cemetery, so yeah.
He's in it, or he's on the crew? He's in it.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Maybe you shouldn't say anything. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get in shit, but
Okay. No one. Everyone pretend like they didn't hear that.
yeah.
Hey, how can you not be excited about that when your kids are doing fun shit like that?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jody's got them all doing acting.
Tell
They're
your
all-
kids that make sure you let them know that it's okay to sleep your way to the top as long as you're having fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it. But I know there's a lot of stigma around sleeping your way to the top, like it's something bad. But I mean, if you're having
Is that what
fun,
you did?
I tried to. Let me tell you, I would have fucking done that. But instead, with these looks, you just have to work hard. You just do shit that other people don't want to do. You clean the shit off the boss's shoes, and then
Yeah.
you sleep
Well,
on
I'll
the.
tell him that. I'll tell him. Sevan says to sleep with people to get ahead.
I mean, if you're having fun, if you enjoy it, if you're having fun, you should do it. If you're not having fun, you shouldn't do it. But there's this stigma against it, like it's bad, but it's not bad if you're having fun, right? Like for all we know, you may have had to sleep with someone to get this Thor fight.
I did. Yeah, that is how I actually got the job. I was waiting for us to get to this, and I had fun doing it. So, yeah, this kind of proves the point. Everything worked out.
When I thought, I obviously don't know enough about him. When I heard about Faris Zahabi, am I saying his name right? Faris Zahabi.
I think it's Faras
Zahabi. Yeah. I always thought of him as like an MMA guy. I never thought of him as a boxing guy.
Yeah, I think he is primarily an MMA guy, but I think that here's the thing. So right away, I had no idea. So Monday morning, I get the call, and right away, I just go right to my garage and I just start punching the air and skipping rope and all the things I think I'm supposed to do. I call all my friends, guys I used to work with, my neighbors who I know fight a little bit, and I got flooded. My friends from work came over and ran me through stuff. My neighbors brought me equipment. I made a video and I said, anybody who knows anybody, please help me out. And I had a friend of mine start making calls to gyms. I had people all over Ontario, all over the world being like, hey man, do this, I'll help you. And it was incredible, the help. But then I started to think, okay, who do I really, because I'm getting pulled in a lot of different directions. And I started to ask people, who's the best? And I kept on hearing Tristar, and I kept on hearing Faras's name. And then when somebody said, hey, I can get you into Tristar, I was like, okay, let's go for it. I think it was by Tuesday. So Monday morning, I got the call. By Tuesday around lunchtime, I had a call with Faras. And I kind of explained the situation to him. And he's like, come to Montreal, stay in the dorm. I'll do the best I can to help you. And I think that this guy, I think he's just such a smart dude, and he can understand. I feel like he's like a general contractor of the fight world. Like I feel like, he's not a plumber, he's not an electrician. I feel like the guy just knows the whole thing. And I think that he's able to make the assessments required. I think he's a great coach for me. I think that I'm in the best place I can possibly be. Even though he's not a boxer, I think that his analysis of Thor, his analysis of me, understanding the limitations that we both have, I think that he's going to give me the best counsel possible.
I mean, man, he is a legend. There, like, I never like everything about the guy is like, I mean, he's A+ in every. I mean, I watch MMA. You know, I spend a couple hours watching MMA every week, and man, that guy. When I saw you, I think you posted a picture with him, right? I was like, holy shit. I mean, I didn't even know the guy was in Canada. For all I knew, he lived in the heavens, right? Like I just hear his name.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So that's awesome. So that's a dorm room that he has for fighters who are in training camp. So you're in training camp with
Sevan, I am in freaking my heaven right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So the gym is 50 meters that way.
Okay.
Like right over there.
That building out the window that you just showed us, that's the gym?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the gym. Yeah. And so the dorm, it's basically one building and there's all these dorm rooms. This is like filled with like international fighters. Guys come here just to train and live. They live here and fight all day. So they fight, come back to their rooms, rest, eat, go back, train some more. It's incredible. I'm like, this experience alone is totally worth it for me. It's already got my mind spinning. Like, if
how many weeks will you be there?
Well, initially, so right away they said we can get you in Dubai by like the 25th and the 26th. So basically,
they were of September.
Fly me out. Yeah, so just in a few days. Yeah.
No, it's August. Of September or August?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, August. So yeah, in a few days, 25th or 26th. And we haven't necessarily changed anything, but I think training is going very well here. So I don't think that I should really leave. If I can stay here and if Firas will continue to work with me, I'll probably stay here as long as I can.
Yeah, that would be crazy to go to Dubai a month ahead of time. You need to train. Who would you train with over there?
They said that they have trainers, but I seriously doubt that they have someone as good as Firas. So
no, yeah, of course. And so the fight is on the 28th of September?
Nope, 18th.
18th. Holy shit, it's just around the corner. And how long have you been? So you've only been training for 4 days.
Since Monday.
3 days, 4 days. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you know, I'm friends with Josh Bridges. Do you know who that is? He's on the undercard. Former.
Yeah.
By the way, when you were in with JTF2, did you ever do any like transfer trades with like Delta Force or the SEALs or the Rangers? Did you ever work? You know how they do that? Like you guys will swap people.
Yeah. I never did a swap. We did go down and train with them a couple times. I never did an exchange or anything like that, but absolutely, yeah, we did work with those guys. They're incredible. They're ridiculous. Yeah, the Delta guys, just the top of the top.
It's interesting. Is we'll get back to the fight in a second. Sorry, now that I have you on this subject, is JTF2 as popular as and hold the sort of clout in Canada that the SEALs do in the United States? Or is it less known?
I say that we're way less known. I think that when you talk about military culture in Canada, it's very, very quiet. I believe. I don't think that there's a lot of Canadians. If you were to say JTF2, I think a lot of Canadians will be like, what are you talking about? Like, probably won't even know what it is. Part of that is based off of there is, you know, a lot of secrecy and a lot of people don't talk about it, you know, rightfully so. But I think it's just culture. I think America, you know, I think they're more of a pro-military country than Canada is.
Yeah, I don't know how long I've known you. Let's say, I don't know if it's 10 years or 20 years, but I've never heard you talk about it. Every time I bring it up, you're pretty good at changing the subject. And but
well, yeah, I mean, now I'm out, right? Like, I mean, you knew me when I was actually doing the job. So,
right.
Man, we've known each other a long time now. Just when was Pulling John? Like that was like 2000 and was it like 2004 or 5?
Yeah, maybe. I made Every Second Counts in 2000. Maybe 2004 or 5. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I had been making the movie before then for a couple years.
Yeah.
Because it is hugely respected by everyone I know in the United States who's been in special forces is like, holy shit, JTF2 is no fucking joke. Like I've never heard anyone disparage it. Actually, they do very little disparaging of each other also, besides what's in jest. But it's interesting to me that it's something like that, that elite and just the tier 1 team in Canada could be so unknown to the Canadian people. I mean, they've just contributed so much and done so much, but yeah, it bums me out, especially in times like this.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is also that we are newer. Like, we have not been around as long. Our unit was created, I think, in 1992. So, I mean, we're only, what's that, 28, 29 years old. Yeah.
And you deployed 7 times?
I think it was something like that. Not all of them were really long ones, but yeah, I did. Mostly I worked in Afghanistan. Yeah.
Did you know you have a wiki page?
I did. I haven't seen it in a long time. I didn't know that there's something on Wiki. What's it say on there? Anything interesting?
It goes into detail about all that stuff. Talks about you being injured, coming back, redeploying. Yeah, someone has really dug into you and put that stuff out there. I think it's all positive, but I know you guys are weirdos. So
yeah, well, it's easier now because I'm really out, like that's pretty taboo stuff for a guy who's serving. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm a civilian now, and I have been, like, I retired in 2016, so it's been 5 years.
And how long were you? And how long were you in?
I did 20 years, so I did a full. That's kind of 20 years is that's your basic. That's your first stop to get a pension. It's a interesting story, but won't get too into it. But I did. So I got to JTF. I think it was 2000. I think I got there in 2000. Or was it 2001? Anyway, so I did basically 16 years at the Hill at JTF2.
And then it was just regular. It was just so you did a service, and then of 3 or 4 years, and then from there transferred to become JTF2.
I started off as a reservist. And then so on my reserve force, we were taught by what was at that time kind of Canada's special forces, which was the Canadian Airborne, because it just so happened that in 95, the Airborne had just been disbanded. So all the best soldiers in Canada were basically in a holding platoon. So they made them teach reservists for the summer. And I was one of those reservists getting taught by, most of Canada's best soldiers. And all I ever heard these guys talk about was they were then going to apply to JTF2. And I was like, oh, wow, what's this? And I was like, whatever those guys are doing, that's what I want to do. And so, yeah, then I transferred in 96 to the regular force with the intention of getting there. And it took a few years. It normally does. I mean, normally they don't even normally look at you until you've done 3 years or so. So yeah, I got there, and that's where I spent my career. It was great. I'll tell anybody, if you're going to be in the military, those units are fantastic to work for. To me, it's probably, when I get older, I'll probably always look back and say that was the coolest stuff that I did with my life.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. And were there a lot of guys trying? Was it really hard to get in? Was it like, did you see pretty crazy attrition rate?
It is tough. Like, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, the statistics, but it's tough. Like, it's hard even to get to selection. So just to get there, you have to have like certain scores and certain tests, and you have to jump through certain hoops that your units are going to give you. And then once you kind of get accepted to do, your 7 happy days or whatever you want to call it, hell week or whatever, that has a fairly high attrition rate. You know, normally I think guys, it's starting with like 30 or so. And I think it's quite common for there to be 5 people left at the end.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it's tough. Like I'd say it's plus or minus. Like I think, you know, sometimes you have 8 or 9. I've heard of ones where they basically clean out everybody and there's nobody. But I think, you know, by the time
Wow.
it's tough. I mean, that's normal stuff. I mean, like if you go to any one of these elite units, like those 7 days or however long their selections are, they're quite demanding. And then from there, just because you finish it absolutely does not mean that you're gonna get in. You'll be assessed, like you're assessed throughout that entire period, and they're looking at everything. And if you meet the criteria, then you'll advance to the course. And the course, you'll lose people on the course as well. But once you're on the course, you know, it's not as bad as the hell week. Like you'll lose, I don't know. I'm gonna just guess and I'll say you lose 15%. Okay, off the course. Like most of the time when you make it to course, you're deemed, you know, the right material, and then it's, you know, not everybody's gonna make it. But yeah.
And then
did
you ever become an instructor? Did you ever go back and instruct?
Yeah, I did a few things. Like there was some stuff that I taught on. But no, I was really just I was like the lowest level you could possibly be in that unit. I put in a memo to never advance. All I ever wanted to be was one of the guys in the stack. Really had no ambitions of doing anything more than that. I really love doing it.
What do you mean one of the guys in the stack? You mean you want to get on a helicopter? You want to be given a mission, get on a helicopter, fly somewhere at night, jump out, do the job, come back and eat?
I have so much respect for the guys who are running debts and squadrons, and oh my God, the amount of sacrifice those guys do is crazy to me. Like they're not only remaining proficient at their actual job, but you know, they're doing so much more, like the planning, the administration. That's a headache that I never, ever wanted to take on. All I wanted to do is be good at my job, and that was it.
And what was your job?
So I was a breacher. That's
shit.
where, yeah, that was where I spent most of the time. Like, I mean, the first couple of years, you're what they call like a number 1 or a number 2. And that's like the head of the snake. When you're a number 1 or a number 2, you are the lead. That's really the coolest job in the entire world.
I think that's what Dave was. Do you know Dave Castro?
Yeah, for sure. No, everybody starts out there.
And Dave, yeah. I think Dave was a breacher.
He was. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's that. So the progression is normally number 1, number 2, backup breacher, 2IC, section commander. That's
okay.
That's kind of typical.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, being the number 1, that's
terrible.
That's where you spend the first couple years. Like you'll be a number 1, and that just means that you make really all the decisions. You are the guy. Like you are the front of the spear. And the breacher's a couple steps behind that. And basically a breacher's job is kind of a tiny bit of orchestration of movement of the fight. But every time there's a door or a wall, that's really where the term breacher really comes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I just imagine it. They just take you, 5 guys hold you and just throw you through the door.
And once I got to breacher, I never wanted to go anywhere else. I was like, breacher for life, man.
Damn.
Yeah, I never wanted to do anything else. Yeah.
And that basically you're dealing with a lot of explosives too at that point, right?
Yeah, a lot of explosives. Yeah, breacher. Yeah, and you know, there's different styles of breaching as well, depending on where you're working or whatever. yeah, a breacher can look a lot of different ways, but your job is basically to make sure that the chain can keep moving, you know.
Devon, do you ask your wife when they offer you this? Do you ask your wife if you can do it, or do you tell her?
I asked her.
You asked her. Hey, can you?
Yeah,
How does that go? And I guess more importantly, did she say no, and you're still doing it anyway?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, she was cool. I I've got a family, and there's very few decisions that I make that kind of go against the wishes of the family. I would be very hesitant to do something that everyone in my family said I shouldn't do. My mom has been telling me I shouldn't be doing stuff since I was 6. I feel bad for her, but my wife knows, Jody knows me really well, and yeah, she was supportive. Like, obviously she has concerns, as do I. Like, I mean, I know what I'm getting into, but it's pretty cool, man. Like, I can't really pass this up, and I think that Jody understands too that it's a pretty neat experience to be given, an opportunity to get in the ring, given 5 weeks notice. I'm really having a lot of fun here, and I think Jody knows that. Look at she supported me leaving for 5 weeks. She's got everything. Yeah. All in.
And for people who don't know your wife, I mean, people in the arm wrestling community definitely know your wife, because she will be at the side of the table talking shit and like handling her business. Like, I mean, she is your number one fan. So there's no question. Like, I mean, sporting men could ask there's probably very few wives out there who compare to your wife in terms of their support. I mean, she's in every video, you can hear her getting your back, and obviously she's used to your deployments, and she had to deal with the kids, and so obviously you found the right wife. But man, just when you think like, holy shit, he survived 7 tours of duty, he's now 47, I finally got him back at home. What? You're going to Dubai to fight the biggest man on earth? Like, what are you doing? I mean, it's just kind of like, holy shit, it's never going to end with this guy, Devon Larratt, that I married.
Yeah. I think that she understands that. We've been together since high school. So she's kind of been through a lot. Like, we've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, if a marriage makes it through a deployment, I bet your cohort has like a 50% or higher divorce rate, right? Maybe it's 90%. So once you make it through that, it's like, shit, you could go ahead and fight the Thor, whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 She's got my back. She'll be there. Yep. Thor. And I don't know.
She will be there. She's going.
Oh yeah. I'm sure she'll end up coming over. Yeah. She'll probably be my corner person with Faraz. Yeah, her and Faraz give him pointers.
Is Faraz going to be in your corner?
I don't know. I haven't asked him yet. I haven't asked him.
How many rounds? How many rounds is the fight?
I've been told that it's still very much up in the air, but 6. I've heard 6 rounds of 3 minutes.
Okay. And I'm sure both of you are going to have a very similar strategy in terms of the fact that neither of you wants to gas out.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even know what my strategy is yet. Okay. I don't even know. We haven't gotten there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you run something called Armbet, right?
Oh yeah. See that?
Yeah, Armbets. Tell me what that is, and can people bet on your fight through that?
So Armbet is a community app for arm wrestling. So if you want, and we're still building it. I think it's going to be a couple years before it's perfect, but it's already good now for getting involved with the community. Armbet connects you to all arm wrestlers who are close to you, clubs, events. You can have matches on there. You'll be able to start to create a record. You'll be able to get coins and bet through the app. And yes, we now, Armbet, you can do what's called staking, okay? So you can stake arm wrestlers. So we're covering all the big matches already. So if you follow arm wrestling, want to get involved with arm wrestling, yeah, you can download Armbet on Google or Apple, whatever your Play Store is. And yeah, you can get connected to the community. You can go to armbet.net and you can have access to all the big matches that are coming. Pick your winner, get involved with the action, make some money. Yeah, it's a big project. I've been basically, Armbet was something that I've been pushing for like the last 4 years or so. And I just kind of tried to get every single person who I thought could help the project to buy in. And it was basically a collection of a lot of good ideas that I saw already in arm wrestling or that I thought were missing in arm wrestling. And it's been a little bit of a twisty road, but now at Armbet, we have such a great team of kick-ass dudes, and it's great, man. We're making this thing better every day. I think in probably 2 years, we will have the best tool for anyone who's in arm wrestling. It'll be in one place. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And can people bet on the fight with Half Thor?
Well, yes, but the betting house is still to be determined.
Okay. But they can do it through that app.
So with Armbet, right now, Armbet is covering arm wrestling betting. So we are arm wrestling betting. We may cover this fight, or we may not, but Stake Kings, kind of the company that we work with, may cover it, but that's still to be determined. Betting for this match has not opened yet.
Do you know why it moved from Vegas to Jacksonville to Dubai?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's the plague, man. You'll die if you go to Jacksonville.
Okay, I understood. It's because they COVID can't come to Dubai.
Impossible. It's too dry.
Understood. Yeah. So basically, that's what this event. It really is all the movement because of that nonsense.
Sevan, you better take this seriously, okay? I hope that you are quadruple vax.
I'm really good at third grade math, and I did the math, and I realized that I would be.
I don't want to hear about your math. I don't want to hear anything about your math.
I personally would be safer.
I just want to see your papers, Devon.
I personally would be safer not eating sugar and refined carbohydrates, getting the SARS-CoV-2.
Don't spread that propaganda to me, Sevan. Papers.
Get the SARS-CoV-2 and then fight it off with my innate immune system, and that would be the best path for me. But I'm open for everyone taking their own path. Like I'm actually, if you go to the SevanPodcast.com, you can buy a bubble that you can zip yourself into and live in for the rest of your life for $39.
Are you serious? You sell those?
No, but I need to.
Totally sell those, man. I would buy one for everybody in my family.
Okay, so that makes sense. That'll make sense. Are you concerned that you're going to have trouble getting in and out of the country due to the tyranny that's going on in your country?
I don't worry about anything anymore. I've let it all go.
You're good.
Let it all go.
God, yeah. I can't wait till I'm as mature as you. I'm as zen as you.
Devon, you have to really. It's about hitting rock bottom. Okay.
Yes.
You're obviously, you haven't got there.
Yes, I feel you on that. I know some people think you're joking, but you're not. I totally feel you on that. I'm not.
You got to hit your rock bottom and then let it all go.
I have so many high horses. I have a whole stable of horses that I have to climb onto and preach from their backs every single day. Hey, maybe I should just go in the stable and put a gun to all their heads, and so I never have to get on a horse again.
I'm right there with you. You're right. but at the same time, like, I feel like this conversation has gone on long enough, and that people are informed enough. You're basically on one side or another. The discussion at this point, basically now, it's about how do you live your life the way you want to live it.
Right.
Like, unless you want to go out and start the revolution today, like,
Right.
that's one thing. But I mean, I feel like all the information is out there. It's all
Right.
there.
Right.
So at this point, you just work. You just do what you can to live your best life. And I'm not worried. I am gonna go to Dubai. I'm not gonna have any problems. I'm gonna come back home. I'm not gonna have any. All good, man.
Hey,
All
that
good.
dude Wally that you said brought Thor over, you said he passed away. Did he die from COVID?
Everybody who's died in Canada has died from COVID. I shouldn't joke. That's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person.
Hey,
I don't know the details of that.
But did he die from COVID? Do you know?
I think he had a heart attack.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Did he and did he get the heart attack from taking the vaccine?
Of course he did, Sevan. Everybody who's died has died not from COVID, but from the vaccine.
Right.
That's
If you're
That's
on
the
one
truth.
side, if you're on one side of the fence, everyone died from COVID. If you're on the other side of the fence, everyone died from the vaccine.
I love it. Hey, you know who my favorite guy to follow on Instagram is?
Me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you post a lot of great stuff, but you probably don't know this guy. He's very obscure.
Okay. I'm gonna write him
You know
down.
who John Dabo is?
John Dabo.
Yeah, you know John Dabo?
The name sounds familiar. Is he an arm wrestler?
Yeah, he is an arm wrestler, and he's in California.
I'm looking at it
And
now.
yeah, and he's the guy who he had a bit of a viral outbreak, definitely in the arm wrestling community. I don't know if it went too much outside of the arm wrestling community, but he like earlier, like probably about a year ago, tournament in California, he had like a big freak out at the ref. Scott Wynn, do you know Scott Wynn?
No, name sounds familiar again.
He's a ref in California. Got in a big argument up at the stage, and this is kind of normal behavior for John. Actually, John's a great guy, but he freaks out a lot. And so he starts a fight with Scott Wynn right on the main stage, and Scott Wynn is just pounding him in the face. And,
the ref's beating up the arm wrestler.
Ref is peppering him hockey style, and then Ron Bath comes over and is like squishing John's face, and he's like, "You get the hell out of here, little boy!" But anyway, so John is always posting like COVID and like Trump, and it's incredible. It's super entertaining. All the good stuff on COVID and vaccines. I just go to John Dabo's page. I think he's got like 30 people who follow him, but he's got awesome stuff.
I think I have over 90,000 followers, but only 30 people can see my content because I'm so shadow banned.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Speaking of which, you haven't popped up on my feed in a long time.
Yeah, I'm totally shadow banned. So like if you try to tag me, it'll say,
Right.
"Hey,
yeah.
You don't want to tag this guy. He's a douchebag. He misinforms."
You know Jay Nara.
Yeah, I know him.
So Jay Nara,
Did he get kicked
I
off?
I think he's still there, but you can't even see him when you type in his full name. You can type in Jay Nara and it won't come up.
Yeah, that's the way I am too. And but he started a bunch of other accounts. Good on him. He has Jay Nara 3.0. What's crazy is like, yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, I don't want to say I understand any part of censorship because I really don't. And it's really scary. Scary is not the right word, but it's really bizarre that like what George Orwell said is right. It's really scary that so many people I love, like I was just telling a bunch of people I really love, like, hey man, look, no matter what, just remember this: the good guys are never the ones who are burning the books or forcing people to take intravenous injections. Like even if everything you're saying is right, just the good guys are never, ever forcing anyone to take drugs or burn books. And like, if everything I'm saying is wrong, nobody gets hurt. No one gets hurt if you stop eating sugar and stop eating refined carbohydrates and exercise. Matter of fact, you might cure 80% of the world's ills. But if you're wrong, if you're wrong, and something was wrong with giving the entire United States military the same injection over a 1 month period, I'm so open to being wrong. I hope I am wrong, right? Like,
Yeah,
I really want to be wrong. I really want like those guys to be 100% right. Like I want it to be like this vaccine's a miracle and everyone's cured and like blah, blah, blah. But like, dude, come on, guys.
Kind of the way I am about it right now is I think that the scientists are mostly fantastic human beings. Like if you're a scientist developing vaccines, man, good for you. You are an amazing person and a credit to society. Like you're doing phenomenal work, and obviously science doesn't always get it right. Okay. So the real issue I have obviously is the politics and the business. That's the issue here. It's the vaccine. I mean, the science, like that's one thing. The politics and the business, that's where it really starts to get nasty.
Money's a son of a bitch.
Money. That's right. We all know, right? Money is.
I think the vast majority of people for $75,000 a year will tell you that the Toyota Sienna is the greatest minivan ever made. And if you offer them $76,000 a year, they'll go work at the Honda dealership and tell you that the Honda Odyssey is the greatest minivan ever made. So we just can't lose track of what anyone might tell you for $1 trillion, right? I mean, they'll tell you that minivans suck for $1 trillion.
Absolutely.
So,
the whole
and it's not a dig
thing,
on anyone. It's just humanity.
We shouldn't get too upset about it. We should just accept that this is the way that the world is. It's the way that the world probably always has been and always will be. That people will take advantage of you. Get used to it. Fight for your children. Fight for your
it's the
future.
children.
Right. So protect your children. Protect your children.
It's all the children. It's funny because if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would just be just like counting my money and going to Cabo with my girl and fucking laying out on the beach and working out and just boning a lot and just loving on my wife. But I got kids, so I got to fight a little bit.
Yeah, you do. But there's a lot of ways to fight. And just I'd say just keep your kids educated, keep them educated in the process. Let them know. Like, I mean, what I say about this thing is just look at the percentages, do the math, have faith in your body, evaluate the risk, make smart decisions, and don't be pressured. Don't be pressured by someone who's getting paid a shit ton of money. That's what I would tell people. Make your own decisions based off of the numbers that you see, your health experiences. And the thing that shocks me so much is they haven't really followed the CrossFit narrative. Like, closing gyms? They should be forcing people to go to gyms. Like, yes. Forcing vaccines? They should be forcing vitamin D. Like,
that would be awesome.
Take fucking vitamin D, everybody, you bunch of idiots. Like, get outside and run for half an hour a day, or else you're probably gonna up your chance of dying. But I mean, I don't understand. Like, that would be a really logical decision for some leader to say, someone in authority. But instead, obviously, CrossFit isn't doing their job. CrossFit should be paying off somebody to say, you must go and do CrossFit for half an hour a day or whatever, you know?
No one wants to be everyone's scared. No one wants to be vilified for telling the truth. No one wants to be vilified.
And Sevan, I'm sorry. I keep saying CrossFit because I always think of you and CrossFit, but that is just not the case anymore.
Well, I am this. They did fire me, but I am the CEO.
Oh, that's such a great position. So you are fired, but you're still a CEO?
See, so we have this thing. I don't know if you have it in Canada, but basically, like, you can identify with anything you want. And if anyone challenges you on it, then that's I think a hate crime or something, basically. And since I work hand in hand with the CEO of CrossFit for 15 years, I just identify with being the CEO. I think I know more about CrossFit than there's probably maybe 4 or 5 people on the planet who know more than I do or can run the company better than me. So I identify with just being the CEO. The pay is horrible, but the power is immense.
Well, why don't you, with your CEO powers,
yes,
why don't you bribe Biden to make a new announcement that says that everyone must get RX, this workout, well, these list of workouts, and if you don't produce your times on the website, you're not allowed to go in the restaurants or the nightclubs. If you're not working out.
That would have been awesome. Hey, how amazing would it have been when Trump got COVID if he just would have lost 50 pounds?
Right?
Yeah. Dude, that would have been awesome if he would have just been like, hey, guys, I'm going to work out now. Same with all these guys, all these jokers that are in power.
Yeah.
Like if I was president, every time I stood up there, I would tell people, like, the first thing I would say is just, hey, stop eating sugar and refined carbohydrates, people. Like, that should be the first thing out of every leader's mouth. Yeah. Before we talk about Afghanistan today, before we talk about abortion, I want to remind you that sugar and refined carbohydrates are the leading cause of premature death in the entire planet today. Now, let's talk about Devon's match with Thor.
That would make a lot of sense.
I bet you could punch him in the dick on accident, on purpose, but it would look like an accident.
When I punch him in the dick, Sevan, remember we had this conversation. It was totally an accident. Totally an accident.
How much longer till you train? Why are you moving around? Because I've had you sitting in one place for an hour and 42 minutes.
It's almost time. So it is so rushed for me. So I don't even have boots. I don't have fight boots. I don't have a mouth guard.
Details. Do you have a cup? Do you have a cup?
No, I don't even have a cup.
So you don't have anything to protect your teeth, your cock and balls, or your feet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But yeah, so I got done this morning. I came back, I showered, I ate while we're kind of doing this. Soon I'm gonna have to go out. I'm gonna get a mouth guard because we did spar today, but it was only.
Ryan. Ryan. He might be saying some good shit. I can't hear him. Did he touch his mute on his phone? That's what happens when you have big old hands like Devon. Yeah, you accidentally hit your mute because your hands are so big.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? I'm not saying anything good anyway, but I can hear you.
You're back. Yeah.
So you're going to go get a mouth guard and a cup and boots.
Well, if I can even just get I'm going to go to the dentist and I'm going to get a mouth guard made, like a good one. Because I heard there's a big difference with the ones you buy at Walmart and like custom ones. So I'm going to go to the dentist. I'm going to get a good one made. I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to get a crappy one that I can just put in. And yeah, I'm going to try and order. I can't get boots. They're size 14. So I can't get them on Amazon.
And I heard you have a giant fucking cock. And so it's going to be impossible to find a cup. Is that true too?
That's not true.
It's just more rumors.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. I don't know who told you that.
So it's going to be easy to find a cup, but hard to find shoes and a mouthpiece.
Yeah, the cup is, I can get any old cup. Shoes, yeah. 14. So the 14's tough to get. I don't know. The mouthpiece, I got to go to the dentist. Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. Sevan, I'm basically fighting. Like I'm basically in the ring already. Like I got like another week or two to push hard. The coolest thing is because I have done no cardio. It's all been strength. And that's not healthy. You know, like I wanted to be the best arm wrestler on the world. So that's what I did, but it's not healthy. Like, and just me doing this, like me doing like hard cardio 2 or 3 times a day, I feel great. I feel energized. I feel healthy. Like the workouts aren't hurting me. The workouts are making me feel really good. So yeah, it's good. It's a nice change.
Can we talk to you again when you're in Dubai?
Sevan, I love you, man. You call me up anytime. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You the man. Thanks for an hour. I can't even believe it. So someone's like, "Hey, dude, I think one of your friends is fighting Thor." I'm like, none of my friends would ever do that. And then I'm like, oh shit, that is one of my friends. Holy shit.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Hey, it was great. How are your kids doing?
Dude, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. All the problems I have in life, I've created myself. I'm living the dream, dude. I do this podcast because it makes me uncomfortable, but other than that, I'm just living the dream.
How about your fruit bushes in the back?
Dude, this morning before I called you, I picked 20 peaches. I picked like 15 nectarines. I clipped fucking 10 branches of crazy marijuana that I don't even smoke or eat, but I just have crazy plants in my backyard. I'm telling you, if you're ever in California, you got to come. You got to come stay with me. You, the kids, the wife, whoever. Dude, I'm living the dream in someone else's nightmare. It's really, I almost feel guilty, but I don't feel guilty.
I'm so happy for you. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm happy for you too. Well, kind of.
When I get down there, I'll teach your kids how to arm wrestle.
Yes. Yeah. Content. We need content.
Yeah. Okay, buddy.
All right, brother. I'll be in touch. Yep. Train hard.
Yeah.
Punch him in the
dick.
Get
your papers, Sevan.
Punch him in the dick.
Don't be a bad American.
Too late. Love you. Bye.
Later.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Boy, that was a treat. 11:17 a.m. on the west coast of the North American continent. Thanks for tuning in. Devon Larratt, holy crap, he's going to fight Thor. It's nuts. And this weekend sometime, I think we're going to try our first live call-in show. I'm not sure if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure if it's going to be just me and Hobart and Brian, or if we're going to have a special guest, but we got this phone hooked up to this Rodecaster Pro, and we're going to give out a phone number and let people call in and just see how that plays out. Anyway, I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye. Ryan, thank you.